Godets are a piece of fabric added to skirts, sleeves, or pant legs in order to add flounce to your style. This tutorial will show you how to sew a godet seam insert. Godets can come in different shapes, but the most common one is pie shape. You should have a mark at the top of the godet pattern, but if not, you can mark the seam allowance lines on each side, and where they intersect will be your mark. It's a good idea to finish the raw edges prior to inserting the godet. I did an overcast stitch around the godet and also where I'll be stitching my seams. Sew your seam as normal, but stop where you have the mark on your pattern, which will be at the top of where the godet will be inserted. Make sure to backstitch. Press your seam open. Below the mark, fold your seam allowance amount and also press. Looking at the wrong side of the seam, place your godet matching mark to mark, so the mark at the top of the godet will match the mark at the bottom of the seam. Your godet should be wrong side up. Pin one side of the godet with one side of the seam matching raw edges. Right sides of the fabric are together. Because the sides of the godet are usually on the bias, make sure not to stretch while pinning. Sew the one pinned side at your sewing machine. Start at the mark and sew your way to the hemline. Don't backstitch at the mark and use a smaller stitch length for at least the first inch, and then you can increase the stitch length after the inch. Make sure you're only stitching through the 2 layers with the raw edges, so move the rest of the garment out of the way. When you get to the bottom, you can backstitch. Now repeat the process on the other side of the godet by pinning and sewing. At the top, tie your threads in a hand knot by putting them in a loop and pulling the end through the loop to create a knot. Cut off the excess thread. To get the fabric on the garment to lie flatter, cut a slit in the seam allowance near the mark on the garment side only. Then press. The seam allowances should all be going toward the garment, not the godet. A trick to stay a godet and to keep the godet held in a sharp point to the outside is to re-stitch along the seam, but extend it past the top of the godet by a little bit, such as 1/8 to 1/4 inch. Another thing you can do is top stitch on each side of the seam line and on the outside edge of the godet. This gives it a nice finish and keeps the seam allowances on the garment side. It's a good idea to let the garment hang for 24 hours to let the bias edge in the godet settle before hemming. Then hem your edges as normal. The godet is a fun detail that can be done in matching fabric or contrasting, and also a great way to add some fullness to your garment. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified of our new releases. Also check out ProfessorPincushion.com to view our complete library with well over 450 sewing tutorials. If you would like to directly support us, you can join our YouTube membership and earn some exclusive perks. Thanks for watching!